Hey, Dan Passarelli here. I was thinking about it the other day, and I was thinking about a condor for some reason or another. And then I started thinking about an iron condor, which I tend to do more often. And I started thinking, well, why they call the iron condor an iron condor and the regular condor just condor. And to me, it doesn't make sense because with the iron condor, you're actually taking out the heavy intrinsic value and doing just sort of the lighter out of the money version. That might make more sense if I go through an example. So let's take Apple here. It's just a totally hypothetical example, not a real example by any stretch of the imagination. So I'm not even going to look at a chart. Let's say we think that it's going to stay below 240 and above 220 for the next 22 days. All right, 5% move in either direction. So with a regular condor, we would go ahead and we would buy the 217.5 calls, sell the 220 calls, and then sell the 240 calls, buy the 242.5 calls, pay 70 or pay 73 cents. Confused myself for a second there. Pay 73 cents. And we get something that looks like this. And if we set the price slices to the at expiration break evens, we've got these dotted lines here on the blue line, which is the price of this is the price of the stock at expiration in this case. So these would be our break evens, 218.25, 241.80. So this is a condor. The iron version is just basically the same thing, but we use, instead of the in the money call spread, we use an out of the money put spread, which is synthetically identical, and we're going to get almost identical break evens. So let's look at what that looks like. So I deleted the trade, but these dotted lines here, the break evens of the spread we were just looking at, stay right there. So here, I'm instead going to sell the 220 puts, buy the 217.5 puts. Before we were selling the 220 calls, buying the 217.5 calls. And then we're going to do the same out of the money call spread as before. Sell the 240 calls, buy the 242.5 calls. And if you look at the risk profile, the break evens, they're almost identical. They're within, a few pennies away. And the difference has to do with a couple of things. One, it has to do with interest. It has to do with the possibility of early exercise / early assignment on those in the money calls. And it also has to do with the fact that even though the call spread and the put spread are synthetically equivalent, the markets are 30 cents wide on this one. They're, oh my goodness, $1.45 wide on this one, but these are only a nickel wide and 18 cents wide. So there's a lot more mess here, a lot more margin for error when we're trading the in the money version. So those are the only differences for why the break evens are different. So to me, like, why call this one the iron? Because like I said before, they're synthetically identical, but here we're trading the arguably lighter. Like when I think of iron, I think of like heavy, right? We're trading the lighter out of the money version that doesn't have intrinsic value. And so to me, it doesn't make sense. It's sort of ironic, or maybe that's why they call it that. It's ironic. All right. I was trying there. That's all I got. Well, anyway, I hope that was a fun little musing and made you think. This is Dan Passarelli, Trade Smart.